What's up, everybody? Who's ready to get a little bit better? Hey, I'm excited to come back to you in this video. We've been talking about the 5 decisions that lead to your freedom. Freedom in your finances, freedom in your relationships, freedom in your fulfillment of your purpose, freedom in your money. These are the decisions that can create absolute freedom in your life, but you've got to start. Decision number 1 with, I take full responsibility in my life. Take back your power. Decision number 2, to master your state. We talked about that. Where are we at? Here we go. Mastering your state through your body, your mind, and your words. And then decision number 3. Are you ready? Decision number 3. You need to make a decision to say, I obsess about my growth. Like, even when you say that, you can't be like, I obsess about my growth. It's got to be, I obsess about my growth. Like, if you make this decision, it can change everything. In fact, I'll share a little bit of my story. I thought I was growing. I'd been leading for 20 years in an organization, leading lots of people, overseeing people, leading massive capital campaigns. I've been doing some stuff, and I thought I was growing. But I realized, because something happened, I was invited into a mastermind. I got around growth-minded people who weren't just growing a little bit, but they were obsessed about their growth. And what I realized was, I thought I was growing because I was comparing myself to other people. Comparison is a thief, people. It will rob you of your destiny. It'll rob you of freedom. Comparison's a thief. And so I was growing in comparison to other people, but I was not growing according to the potential that was on the inside of me. And so when I got around those people and I started learning the habits and the mindsets and the routines of growth-minded people, of people obsessed about the growth, it began to shift everything in my life. And so I want to challenge you. Have you been maybe comparing yourself to others? Because listen, if you're watching a video with me, we all know you're growth-minded. We know you're not sitting like doing nothing. And unless this is probably not your first introduction to me, right? So you've been getting around some people that are speaking truth and giving you tools and equipping you to have the life of your dreams and fulfill your destiny to make a difference in the world. So we know this isn't your first dose of growth environment, right? But I want to ask you, are you growing to the full potential that is on the inside of you? Or are you just growing more than the next person? Are you just growing more than the spouse? Or are you just growing more than your employees? Oh my gosh, please don't compare yourself to your employees. You're a leader. Take back your power and get obsessed about your growth. So you've got to get obsessed about your growth if you desire to create sustainable change. See, it's not enough to say, I'm going to grow for the next 30 days. It's not enough to have a season where I'm growing. It's not enough to have a season where I'm doing the routines that matter. It is a matter of committing over the long haul to get obsessed about your growth. Because for people like you and me, growth is not optional. Growth is a requirement. In fact, if you want more freedom in your life, in your time, your money, your relationships, in fulfilling your purpose, you can't get that freedom if you aren't growing. And many of you have heard this said, if you're not growing, you're dying. That's right. If you're not growing, you're dying. So how does growth happen? Okay, let's just lay that here real quick before I give you 5 points, very practical, about how you can obsess about your growth starting today. But how does growth really happen? It doesn't happen how we think it is happening, or actually how we want it to happen. We want it to happen with an easy button. Like, click the easy button. I showed up to an event and, oh my goodness, I've grown and I'm totally transformed. But if you show up at an event and it changed your life, but you didn't do squat afterwards, how's that working for you? Did the event fade? Like, you were like, wow, and then the event fade eventually kicked in, right? Because growth happens through what many call the compound effect. What is the compound effect? It is an equation, 3 points to it. Small choices, small, smart choices, not big, massive things. Not like, I'm going to read personal development books for 4 hours every day for the rest of my life. I'm going to wake up at 3 a.m. No, that's a big choice. I'm talking small choices. Like, I'm going to read 10 pages a day for the rest of this year. That's a small, smart choice. But then you implement it consistently, not just for a week, not just for a month, but the third part of the equation, over time, a lot of time. And when you take small, smart choices, the right choices, implemented consistently over time, do you know what you get? You know what that equals? That equals drastic, radical, sustainable transformation in your life. And that's what you want, because nothing less than that is enough for you to have the freedom and the life that you desire to have the influence and the impact that you desire to have. You've got to obsess about your growth. So how can you do that? Oh, wait, you know what? Let me give you one illustration of this. The compound effect is so beautiful. If I gave you the option right now, many of you maybe have heard this, but if I gave you the option to take $3 million cash in a beautiful briefcase, and I said, here, you can have this, or if you wait 30 days, I will give you a penny that doubles every day for 30 days. Which one would you take? I mean, obviously I'm setting you up, so you really want to pick option 2. But see, it's deceptive because the penny doubling every day, on day 29, it is worth $2.6 million. So man, you should have taken that $3 million. But if you wait till day 30, on day 30, that penny doubling every day for 30 days is now worth $5.3 million. That, my friends, is the power of the compound effect. And see, what happens is we get impatient with growth, and we want to grow short term, and we want to do like a sprint. Listen, obsessing about your growth, it's not a sprint, it's a marathon. Like, this is a lifetime. If you want to be a John Maxwell, if you want to be a Tony Robbins, if you want to be whoever that person is for you, they didn't get there overnight. They didn't get there in a year or 2 or 5 or 10. They got there from a lifetime of obsessing about their growth, obsessing about making a difference in other people's lives. And so it's going to take a process. So what can you do starting today to obsess about your growth? Just 5 things real quick. I'm going to hit them and drop them quick. Here you go. Number 1, get intentional about learning. Make learning a habit. That means you got to read books. So I just pulled some off of my bookshelf. Got a book by John Maxwell, Leadership Gold. If you need leadership, read everything by John Maxwell. That's all you need to do. Amazing book by Dean Graciosi, Millionaire Success Habits, changed my life, gave me so much stuff, it changed my life. Make Me a Legend. My coach read this book. You should totally pick it up on Amazon. You want to be legendary? Get some books that are going to get you there. You fight about money with your wife, with your husband? Buy this book, 5 Money Conversations by Scott and Bethany Palmer. Listen, this book, if you're a business owner, heck, if you're breathing right now and you're watching this video, get this book. It's a classic, How to Win Friends and Influence People to Change Life. Just some examples. You got to obsess about growth and make learning a habit. Make learning a habit. Make learning a habit. Number 2, meditation. Because we're always going, right? We're always producing. We're always making something. We're making go, 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 go. But meditation is a growth. It's growth about the inside. It's about being at peace. It's about being whole. It's about connecting with that higher power that God is. Like, when I take time to get still, I always quote Psalm 46:10. It says, be still and know that I'm God, because he's God and I'm not. And when I get still and I just breathe, the breath in my lungs that he gave me, I'm reminded that I can get still for a moment and trust the process. Meditation. Download Headspace as an app. I'm not paid for this advertisement. Just download it. It'll give you a quick start. Number 3, daily affirmations and visualization. You have power to create with your words. You know, we talked about that with mastering your state, that your words create meaning, meaning create emotion, emotion creates your life. Emotion, meaning, emotion equals life, right? So your words have power. When you speak every single morning, words over your life. I began doing this at a higher level. In 18 months, my business grew by 600%. Words have power. Begin to speak them over your life. If you need help on this, or if that's a little woo-woo-y for you, I have a free little mini ebook. I'll send it to you. Follow me on social media at Mark T. Keen on Instagram or Facebook at Mark T, as in Tom, Keen. And I direct message me and say, hey, I want the affirmations ebook, and I will send it to you. Number 4, journaling. Oh my goodness, this one habit has changed my life more than anything. I have stacks and stacks of these. That habit creates space for me to increase my self-awareness. For me, it's prayerful. For me, it's dreaming and visioning and setting goals. So much. It's like the one tool that has shaped my life more than anything. I recommend therapy, but this is a lot cheaper than therapy. Do both. This will keep you healthy on the inside and help you have clarity in your life. Obsess about your growth. That's what I do when I journal. Number 5, the last one that pulls together several of these is start a morning routine. Get the books, The Miracle Morning or the 5 a.m. Club. Miracle Morning, How I'll Rod, or the 5 a.m. Club by Robin Sharma. Both of those books changed my life at different times. Powerful, powerful. Win the morning and you win the day. Elevate your morning, you elevate your life. Listen, get up and get your time to build you up before the rest of the day happens. And it will, I promise you, it'll change your life. So the decision is that you need to make. I obsess about my growth. If you make it, it has the power to change your life. Don't make it for a week. Make it for a lifetime. Hey, start with the next 7 days. Maybe you pick one of those 5 things. And you say, hey, this is what I'm going to do. This is my starting point. I remember when I started journaling 15 years ago, and my very first journal, I said, hey, I think this is going to be a big part of my growth. I'm just going to commit to it and see what happens. And that was 15 years ago, and it definitely came through. So there's greatness on the inside of you. Begin to grow so you can tap into it and make a difference in this world. Listen, guys, I love you. Get obsessed about your growth. Experience freedom in your life like you never have before.